Hey everybody, welcome to the page about the course materials. And this is probably my favorite page, the one I'm most excited about, because honestly when I first started doing my workshop 7 or 8 years ago, I didn't have any materials. And eventually I cobbled together 50 pages of just random notes. And um, one day one of my friends pulled me aside and said, "Tad, your workshop is great, but your notes are terrible." So I spent a bunch of time and I really focused on it, putting together the best materials I could. And at this point, I'm thrilled with it. And I think you're going to be too. They're all listed below. But before you jump there, let me just say this. When you show up at the workshop, you're going to get a workbook that's like 500 or 600 pages long of course materials. And it's staggering. It's a lot of material there. People are usually pretty blown away. And I hear a lot of great feedback from people even after the weekend. Number two, at the end of the workshop, you get a special sort of bonus CD, and it's packed with another few $100s of material and 10 hours or so of audio, interviews, recordings that I've done. So it's pretty amazing what you get. I've read books, I've spent dozens and dozens of hours reading books that you're never going to read. I'm on email lists you've never heard of from marketing gurus around the world, and I sort of take that on myself and then I compile it into really tailored stuff just for you, and I try to strip it of any of the icky kind of sliminess that some marketing has and give you just the raw goods, just the stuff that you need to grow your business in a way that feels really authentic for you. So just one last thing. A lot of times, you may have had this experience, you go to a workshop and you get the workbook from it, and it's a great workbook, and you mean to go through it, but it just kind of sits on your shelf. You keep meaning to get to it. Eventually you either throw it out or give it to a friend, or it just sits there making you feel guilty all the time. So here's what we do in the workshop to deal with that. On the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, we take about an hour each night to go through the workbook. And not quite page by page, but almost. I go through it. I just flag what are the most important sections. If I know you're dealing with a certain thing, I might say, "This is for John, for you, read this page." And you got a bunch of post-it notes, kind of sticky tabs. And as you're going through, when there's a page that you're like, "Wow, I really need to look at this. This is relevant," you put a tab there. And so at the end of it, you've got the workbook with 20 or 30 tabs. Because the truth is, you're not going to read the whole workbook. I've had some clients who've done it, but you probably won't. But you will read 20 or 30 tabs. You don't need to read the whole workbook. You just need the stuff that's relevant for you to take the next step. And you might, read through it later if you've got a lot of time. So that's the material. I'm really excited about it. I hope you will be too. Take a read below, and we'll see you on another page.